Grandma won't shut up about my appearance.
Hello and good day, night to you all. I hope your guys' days have been going awesome. Let's get to the point. My grandma will not shut the fuck up about my appearance. It's honestly getting on my nerves. For context, this has been going on since November of 2022. She won't stop telling me she wants my hair shorter because I finally have hair down to my neck. I'm a male, by the way. She hates it when I have any kind of dye in my hair. I dyed it black and she told me it was way too black. Then one time I went on over to her house to help with some work, and I was trying to pull my hair back to keep it out of my face. She saw I was struggling and said she'd help. I followed her inside and told her to please not use any product that would make my hair sticky or hard, and not a lot of product either. But she doesn't listen to me at all and does it anyway. I didn't complain as it had already started and I never saw it coming anyway. And this is only my hair, my clothes are another thing. I got a new jacket for my birthday and I loved it. I had pictures of a coffin and below it said, "Future Corpse." I thought it was amazing and the jacket was soft. Perfect for lounging around the house. But, my grandma had other things to say about it. She told me it was tacky and made me look like I was a Satan worshiper. Something to note here is, I believe in the Norse religion, Vikings and such, so me being a devil worshiper in her eyes isn't totally inaccurate, as Christians see the Norse as satanic, as one of the symbols is a pentagram-looking thing. My grandma even hates it when I tell her I went to a Hot Topic to grab myself a bigger jacket. Again, she calls me an unfaithful grandson, and tried to force me to join her church. Hell, she once tried to baptize me while I was staying the night. I quickly hopped in my car and left after that. She wants me to go to counseling, to try and straighten me out, as she puts it. But I am not going. I won't be forced to believe in something I don't really think is true, and I won't be forced into a program to help people when I don't need it. Now, what she did recently was just fucked up. She wanted me to go over to her mom's house with the rest of the family on Mother's Day. Here is word for word what she sent me. "Is there any way you can make it over to her house for Mother's Day? And don't you dare give me an I don't know." I was in second period and I just wanted to leave the class and call her to tell her to never talk to me like that again. I love my grandma, but she really is starting to make me feel like the only real family I have is my mom and stepdad, and his family. I just can't deal with her anymore. I would try to tell her, with care, that you are your own person and are making your own choices. You need to set boundaries, and you can let her know she is still important to you, but that you are important to you too. Also, jacket and the hair sounds cool. Also, who doesn't love Odin, one of the first origins of Santa? Print out 100 cards saying I don't care what you think about this topic. Hand her one each time she does this. She'll have to suddenly deal with a lot of cards. Honestly, are you still seeing her out of an obligation that you feel because she is family? Because she is not acting as family should, and if passing judgment upon who you are is all she can do, then it may be time to have a frank discussion with her. Explain that if she cannot accept you for who you are, then you will limit contact with her. Remind her that you do love and care for her, but do not need to subject yourself to her need to be judgmental about who you are. As long as you are not doing anything that is self-destructive to yourself or your future, then you be you, and if she cannot accept who you are, perceived warts and all, then that is an issue with her. The next time she mentions that you need counseling to strengthen you out, push back with the explanation that maybe she needs to seek counseling to figure out why she is so insistent that the way she wants you to live, grooming, clothing, religion, etc. is the correct way, and maybe it is she who could be straightened out with counseling. Tell her when she seeks some counseling for herself, then you will consider counseling for yourself. Sounds as if you are on the cusp of being an adult, and as such it is okay to push back against her inappropriate behaviors. Consider coming up to a time to have a real sit-down conversation with her. Make yourself some notes so you can remember the points you need to get across to her if she tries to fluster you. You are a young man, and it is normal for you to experiment with your looks, clothing, pursuits, and even your spirituality. That her conscious criticism is inappropriate and trying to force her will and her way as the only will cause you to place some distance in your relationship. That her attempts to baptize you is highly inappropriate behavior and could be considered assault. Offer to have a conversation where you can speak to her as any adult would and answer questions she has about who you are. If she gets judgmental, then stop the conversation and walk away. It will not be easy to speak with her, but it may improve your relationship with her or show you that you need to place some distance in your relationship. It is intimidating because she is family and you wish she was not like this, but remember that respect is earned, not freely given because of age or off excuse, and that you can still love someone who you have little respect for. I had a friend that had hair just below his shoulders. He would get comments about it by the Bible-thumping biddies around town. One told him he should get right with God and cut his hair like a proper Christian. He pulled out a picture of Jesus that's found in paintings everywhere and told her if God doesn't care about his own son having long hair, then why would he care if I do? Usually that got them huffing and puffing trying to counter that, but ultimately they turned their attention elsewhere.
Maybe you can stay away for a few months until she misses you, and after that visit her and talk to her that you love her, but it's hard for you to be happy in her presence if she keeps talking negatively about your style and interest. Try to tell her what kind of relationship you do want to have with her.
I agree, limiting contact is wise. If she asks, be honest, you do not enjoy spending time with someone who is constantly nagging in your appearance. If you must be around her, then the next time she says anything about your appearance, reply, "Wow, Grandma, that was a really rude and inconsiderate thing to say to me," then just stare at her in silence or walk away. Every time she says something, remind her how rude and inappropriate it is to talk about someone's body.
Ask Grandma if she liked Elvis. If she did, mention that he specifically made sure his hair was as black as possible. And if she mentions counseling, say yes, you should go, it might do you some good. But I am happy as I am, and there is nothing that counseling will do to change me being happy as I am. I would actually make a list of the times she's been rude and unkind, and give it both your parents. Let them know that you have tried to be respectful and kind, but her words hurt and you no longer feel safe in her presence. Parents can wave away one occasion, but an actual pattern of bullying is harder to deny or ignore. Grandma is emotionally and verbally abusive to me on a constant basis, and nothing I do seems to please her. I would like to take some time and space from seeing her and start working with a therapist. Please know that if this is allowed to continue, I will begin to resent and dislike her and will eventually just go no contact with her. Op just wants to be loved and allowed to be, and that doesn't seem to work, so know you need someone to support you and speak with her. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Seems to be the one thing Granny doesn't know. Best of luck, Op. Hello, fellow heathen. First, let me just say that we don't worship the devil. The devil is a Christian belief. He's part of their pantheon, not ours. Not that that makes a difference to your Christian grandmother, or most other Christians for that matter. As far as the dynamic with your grandmother goes, it's very similar to what many go through with their grandparents. Try not to let it get to you too much. Old people do what old people do. Just don't indulge her when she gets all, "You have to love Jesus." Like, "I love you, Grandma. That's enough for me." Edit: I should clarify that I agree with other comments that if you feel it's necessary, you should limit contact and should definitely lay down some boundaries with her.
Your style sounds cool. Your grandma needs to deal, and the only counseling you need is because you have an abusive grandma. Edit signed, a responsible adult.
Ooh, I love Nordic mythology.
I understand you love your grandma, and I understand she's from a different time. But there's nothing wrong with going low contact or no contact with her. You cannot live your life the way she wants you to, you have to live your life the way you want. Edit for spelling.
Marry meet. Your GMA and two of my siblings would be best buds. One sibling found out I'm pagan and thought taking me to a church on TV thing to convert me back was a wonderful surprise. Thankfully, my asthma, one of my worst attacks ever, saved me from that. I almost wish I could have made her and that religious leader look foolish, but that would have embarrassed my parents also.
Sorry about all this, I went through the same when I grew up. Your grandma is simply going to get over it, and with older people, especially religious ones, they can't fathom that people will live rich lives in ways differently than they did. All that matters is this is what you like, and it makes you happy and feel like you are being who you truly are. Time is fleeting, waste no time on being someone you aren't.
Grandma, I love you, but this topic is off limits. I am happy with my hair, jacket, whatever. If you persist with this line of conversation, I am going to leave. And then you go. Repeat as often as necessary. Either she changes her behavior or she doesn't see you.
My rule for when somebody is making comments that are not so kind is to give them one opportunity to stop, and then my gloves come off. And yes, this applies to my own grandmother too. I had to tell her that her unnecessary comments about my weight and body hair are neither wanted nor needed, and if she wants to maintain a relationship with me, her oldest grandchild, then she should learn to be more kinder and respectful. Age just means that they have had more time to learn how to be a better person. We really need to stop making excuses for old people when they have had more than twice as long to learn.
Has she tried therapy to leave her cult of murdering pedophiles? And if she wants a quick answer to this question and a no, I don't know, the only answer you can give is a clear, no, I can't.
Her child, your mother or father, needs to shut her down. Just tell her you're from different generations and you're not supposed to have the same style.
Sadly, you have answered it. She won't stop. It's possible she is starting to lose her marbles, so to speak. You simply cut down on visits, and if she says anything, tell her flat out why. It's because she won't shut up. If she's told the truth, then the ball is in her court. She lie, the respect the boundary, or she won't. If she won't, she gets no visits.
Recommend to grandma that she needs counseling. See how she takes it. I have a hoodie with a coffin on it that says, "Want a nap?" I'm an eclectic witch who believes in Norse paganism. The pentagram isn't really in Norse that much. I wear one for protection. I have several, and one does have runes around it. Keep being you, believe what you want to believe in. Try not to argue too much with your grandma. We get old and set in our ways. I don't know how old you are, but you have the right to say no at any time to anyone. Sit down with mom and dad and tell them the situation completely. Tell them you have a list of rules if grandma ever wants to see you again, and lay them out. By the way, writing a list will help you make them clear and concise. Further, tell them you're going to let grandma know about your rules, then do so. Remember, you're not negotiating here. Laying boundaries is reasonable and a mature thing to do. If grandma starts her SHT, leave mid-sentence if you have to. Or hang up. Or block her. Give her one warning. Grandma, I love you, but I'm not putting up with this. You'll hear people tell you to deal with it because she's old. Nope. She's an adult and capable of treating you with respect.
Time for little to no contact. If she won't respect you, no reason to waste time in her presence. How old is grandma? Like, was she a teenager in the 1970s or 80s? In the US at least, boys had long hair, we had punks, and kids wore all kinds of things. I think she might need to remember what it was like being younger, wanting to express yourself.
Just say, your age is showing, every time she gets snarky.
Start hinting that you might be gay. Comment on dudes' appearances and just paint that picture. Give it a few months, then flip back. She will be so happy that you are straight that she will forget all about the hair. You will eventually grow out of the goth stuff, just gotta give it some time. Grandmas are tough and set in their ways. Good luck. You need to tell her you are your own person.
Your GMA sounds like an old-school Bible thumper from the Bible Belt. Nothing wrong with that, but different times and such. She believes she's doing what she needs to save you from hell according to her beliefs. While it may be difficult, I suggest you talk to your GMA and ask her if she's willing to learn something new. If she agrees, talk to her, not about religion, but about Viking society and living. There are several excellent sources online that can give you detailed information. My best guess is she's having a knee-jerk reaction to something new, and her reaction is to bolt away and use her faith as a shield. Try explaining to her that you still believe in God, but you don't use the same name she does. With a little patience and time, she might come around to understanding the concept that God, by any other name, is still divine. I had to have this conversation with my parents while I was still in college. My mom just accepted it as me approaching divinity from a different direction and stopped worrying about it. Maybe your GMA can come to the same accord with you. I wish you all the luck.
Tell her, the Lord saith to honor thy mother and father. He didn't say nothing 'bout grandma.
I'd cut her off. If not physically, I'd just stonewall her. No reactions, no help, no words, nothing.
A Christian knows that the being baptized has to be done willingly, so she truly seems to have no understanding of her own religion. As your choice is to not be washed on the blood of the Lord, then it wouldn't make you any more Christian than if a Hindu was forced on the altar. As you are supposed to confess your sins willingly before baptism, the grandmother's baptism would only be a bath. Along with that, the same applies for therapy. It might be worth going with her, so the person who needs therapy, grandma, will have what therapy does explained to her. The fact you have different beliefs in no way, shape or form means you have some type of mental illness that needs to be fixed. Your grandma could use some therapy to learn that boundaries are not to be ignored, and she may end up pushing you away to the point that you will not have much contact with her. If you do choose to be around her and she starts in, I'd try a gray rock technique of reflecting her words back to her. If she says, G1IC7H, I hate that dye in your hair shirt on your back at sea. You can parrot back, you'd like me to know you don't like my hair, or, you'd like to be in charge of my clothing choices, in a bored tone of voice, and then just vaguely wander off, as if it barely registered.
Rinse and repeat statement. You do you and I'll do me. Don't engage with her on stuff. Ignore rude text. If she asks why, I'm dealing with rude. You do you and I'll do me.
I have an auntie who can be like this. Every time she saw me, she'd be harping about some aspect of my appearance. The trouble is that the more she harped, the worse I go. I took it as a challenge. As a result, she hasn't said a thing since my 25th birthday. I went to church wearing a baby yellow sundress, patterned with panda bears, one of my dad's dress shirts open over top, plaid leggings, mismatched socks, sneakers, and a neon yellow tie that was stamped all over with, "Too young to be 50. When she commented, I turned 25, Auntie. I am too young to be 50. She's given me up as a lost cause.
Start giving it right back. If she keeps pushing you to stop devil worshipping and to join her church, you nitpick at her not-so-biblical behaviors.
If she picks at your appearance, you pick at hers.
Even if you're a minor and you're forced to see her by your parents, it doesn't mean you have to be forced to lay down and take it. However, you should tell your parents how things are. Do not allow them to be in denial of what she's doing or how you feel.
This is going to be harsh, but it's the same thing I told my grandma when I came out as bi and stopped going to church. Fuck off. Grandma, it's past time for you to accept me as the adult I am, not as a child for you to mold. You choose your own haircut, religious practice, style and diet, and I'll choose mine. If I'm interested in feedback, I'll ask for it, but otherwise let's agree to disagree and not assault each other with product or evangelical pamphlets. Or I'm not going to feel like visiting if you are only interested in molding imaginary me instead of getting to know the real me who actually exists and wants to enjoy a mutually respectful visit.
Sounds like a normal grandma to me. I've had 5 different grandmas over the years, and they have all been exactly like this. I'm sure wise, kind, friendly grandparents exist, but I've never met one. You still value her thoughts and opinions, so it hurts when she insults you. The truth is, good people don't insult each other over style preferences. Our time on this earth is too short to waste on unpleasant people, even people we used to be close to.
The jacket does sound a little tacky, but if you like it, that's your problem, not hers. There's a very short answer you can give to her. Is there any way you can make it question? That answer is no. Anyone who asks you a question but puts provisos on the answer like this deserves the no response.
Are your parents aware that she is verbally abusing you? I'm wondering if the increase in verbal abuse may be a symptom of early dementia. If so, her adult child or children may need to step in to get her whatever help she may need. Some forms of mental disturbance are treatable. On the other hand, if she has a serious mean streak and is taking it out on you, you may want to try putting her in timeouts. If she says or does something unkind, end the visit or call And wait at least double your normal time between calls or visits before you accept any of her calls or go see her again.
Anytime she messages you anything disrespectful or about your appearance or faith, do not respond, ignore the message and pretend it doesn't exist as it's below you. If she tries anything when talking on the phone, hang up instantly. If she starts whenever you're there in person, walk out and go home immediately every time. Make it clear you will not accept her abuse, and you will only walk away a few times before you get the message she doesn't actually care about you, and you will stop having any contact with her. That she will be responsible for the consequences of her own actions of continually choosing to treat you badly. Put it like that, as sometimes being blunt and harsh in making clear what she does is the only way she may see, and not try and minimize what you say. No matter if you are there with other family, get up and leave every time she tries it. If anyone thinks of saying you're treating her badly, make it plain no, she's treating you badly and you're simply not accepting or enabling her, and will not stop standing up for yourself. No matter if she is family, you have a say on how you are treated and what you accept and allow. So she will either back down begrudgingly, or she's shown you she doesn't actually care and you need to walk away and stay away. This is not about age, this is about her thinking she can bully you as you're her grandchild and must just accept what she says. Heck no.
It sounds like very classic grandma nagging to me. We did not used to do this, dress like this, look like this in my time. I would advise you to try to tune out her comments or reply with jokes till she gets used to it. Bring her to this century step by step. Get her a future corpse jacket of her own, actually. That might be an extremely bad taste thinking about her age. Considering how she's treated you, you should go no contact with her for a while. If she treats you poorly after that, then go NC for as long as you need. I've tried to, but she won't hear it. She's a stubborn woman.
Love the comment. And most people don't know that about Odin.
Op's grandma isn't interested in treating Op like an individual. She doesn't respect Op. I'm probably a terrible person, but if she's going to continue to punish you for being yourself, you might be better off cutting her loose. Santa?
I'm assuming that autocorrect changed it, but it's hilarious.